gentlemen. The guy that goes around wrecking everybody's lives, ladies and gentlemen, according to Sean Strickland. And that was, Sean Strickland got that from Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. This is a battle between Simon Feck and MMA GURU. That sounds like a battle, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the MMA GURU, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, already trouble in the house. You know, this Simon Feck studio sucks balls. And matter of fact, besides Simon Feck sucking balls, you know who doesn't suck balls? The Fight Fairy. The Fight Fairy doesn't suck balls. Keep that in mind. The Fight Fairy does not suck balls. That's according to the MMA GURU, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. What a show we have today, ladies and gentlemen. And myself, the big fat guru, 6'4", 385 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, I'm the MMA GURU and I can kick Demetrius Johnson's ass. I've been saying it for years, but now he's sucking his dick. Ladies and gentlemen. I heard Simon Feck finally answered chat last night. Well, I had somebody come in my chat last night. I've been having people come in my chat for 3.5 months talking about Simon Feck. So I thought I would come over and see Simon Feck. And what a shit studio this is, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the big guru, ladies and gentlemen, the big fat guru, scared to death of Simon Feck. But now I'm here, Simon Feck studio. Ladies and gentlemen, MMA GURU here, and I just want to tell you that Simon Feck sucks balls. But you know who doesn't suck balls? The Fight Fairy. The Fight Fairy doesn't suck balls, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA GURU, the big fat slob, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I gotta get catchphrases like Simon Feck. Simon Feck has some catchphrases. What is mine? People forget, man. You know, people forget it. That's Joe Rogan's catchphrase. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't have anything. All I have is impressions of other people. I mean, what am I? I mean, Simon Feck is like the best thing going, ladies and gentlemen. People won't stop going in my chat and talking about Simon Feck. I have to skip it all, ladies and gentlemen. I make sure all my members are told that you just lose your money if you ever bring up Simon Feck. Do not go on Simon Feck's YouTube channel. If I catch you on there, you're gone. You're banned. The MMA GURU. I'm talking about myself, the MMA GURU. I ban anybody who talks about Simon Feck. That 1 foot cock guy. Why do they call Simon Feck 1 foot cock? When Robert Whitaker has has the biggest penis in the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. He happens to be my favorite fighter, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite fighter, the MMA GURU, my favorite fighter is Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker has the biggest penis in the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know if his wife Sophia knows, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I, the MMA GURU, have been watching the Simon Feck show so much, I am starting to act like Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy. It's amazing. He's the best thing going. I mean, even when I get taken down off of YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, I'll still be watching Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen, because Simon Feck, 1 foot cock. Now, why do they call Simon Feck 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen? And why am I wearing a jailbird suit, ladies and gentlemen? And why are these numbers right here? You see these numbers right here? If you go and look me up, the MMA GURU, on my license in London, England, if you look it up, my ID number is the first 5 numbers here. It's the first 5 numbers here is the last 5 numbers of my ID from the MMA GURU show. These other numbers right here? Yeah, this is my prisoner number. It's already predetermined. If you look it up, I tell you what, Simon Feck's pretty clever. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck. I mean, you can't out-Feck the fact. So I had to give in and come on the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. Me, the MMA GURU, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck. I hate Simon Feck. Simon Feck's nothing but a fecker, ladies and gentlemen. He's going around telling everybody that my cousin is Nick Parkin, the guy that trains underneath Tom Aspinall. Well, let me tell you something, people. He's correct, ladies and gentlemen. That son of a bitch, Simon Feck. Me, the MMA GURU, I hate Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. I also hate Tom Aspinall. He doesn't treat my cousin very good. You know my cousin Nick Parkin, the big stick of butter, ladies and gentlemen? My cousin sucks balls. My cousin Nick Parkin sucks balls, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me. The MMA GURU going around saying, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing. In my prisoner outfit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a millionaire. I'm going to have to give all the money up. As a matter of fact, Simon Feck told me I better not be spending the money because I'm going to have to give it all back in some, ladies and gentlemen. When Dana White and David Feather and BKFC get all of me, ladies and gentlemen. But Simon Feck definitely is one of the best. He is the best. Simon Feck is the best YouTuber for the MMA world, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to get into why Tom Aspinall sucks balls. And my cousin Nick Parkin, ladies and gentlemen, the big stick of butter, is better than Tom Aspinall, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to get into, let me tell you something. We're going to get into who John Jones should fight, ladies and gentlemen. And then we're going to take your questions, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA GURU keeps saying, ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck must be wearing off on the MMA GURU, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't make a bit of sense, ladies and gentlemen. Now, why do they call Simon Feck 1 foot cock? No wonder Simon Feck complains about these guys. They just stare at you like idiots. Mike and Scott. Why do they call Simon Feck 1 foot cock? I mean, the MMA guru is interested in people's penises, ladies and gentlemen. He's interested in Robert Whittaker's penis because it's his favorite fighter. The MMA guru goes around telling people that Robert Whittaker has the biggest penis in UFC. And that Robert Whittaker is his favorite fighter. And the MMA guru goes around telling people that he can beat up Demetrius Johnson. And then he goes on Demetrius Johnson's show and sucks his dick. So last night, a poor guy came on. This poor guy, you know, he's a fan of the MMA guru. He came on. A guy came on my chat last night. I found out he was a big fan of the MMA guru. He was just curious if I had heard of Simon Feck, 1 foot cock. I thought the guy was giving me a hard time. He was just curious. But I banned the guy. You know why? Because I'm a fucking dick. I'm the MMA guru, and I am a fucking dick. I can hand everything out. I can dish it out. You know, I can do this, I can do that. But when it comes back to me, I can't handle it. Because I'm MMA guru, the big fat fucking turd. The MMA guru is nothing but a big fat turd. Now, Simon Feck has a good friend. His name's Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland watches the Simon Feck show. Sean Strickland gets the little term that the MMA guru is going around wrecking people's lives. So last night, that question came in also. So he said, hey, have you heard the thing about Sean Strickland saying that I go around wrecking people's lives? And I said, I haven't wrecked anybody's lives. Then I changed it up. I said, well, I haven't wrecked anybody's lives in about a couple months or so because I was watching Simon Feck's show and Simon Feck brought it up to me. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I go around wrecking people's lives. But if you notice, I have calmed down. The MMA Guru show is watered down. The only thing that the MMA Guru show is edgy about nowadays is stupid impressions. Hey, mate. The MMA Guru, fucking stupid shit. And I'll tell you right now, I am the big fat MMA guru, and I can't pick a fucking card to save my fucking life. A fucking guy, I mean, I suck balls. But the fight fairy doesn't suck any balls. We found that out. Listen to me. The fight fairy, you see this? The fight fairy is the scissor king, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here from the MMA guru that the fight fairy is the scissor king, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, she likes to scissor. She likes to take your money. All you guys.
All you big stupid guys. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Like the people that come into the MMA guru chat and just ask me to do impressions. And stupid shit, too.
Yeah.
That's just stupid shit after stupid shit. So my advisors told me
that stupid shit after stupid shit.
I need to change the format up because it's getting old, ladies and gentlemen. And then by the time Simon Feck gets a hold of me, I better take my money bags and run. Now, do you know that I'm trying to go to a different country? That's right. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. You know why I say that? I don't know why Simon Feck says it, but I'm saying it because I like big penises. My name's the MMA Guru, and Robert Whitaker has the biggest penis in the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Whitaker is my favorite fighter, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the MMA Guru. Here's my prisoner number. Dana White. How do you like that shit? Is anybody in the chat? Let's take a look. These idiots over here. Now, I know why Simon Feck complains about you idiots. Why does the person up here gotta run everything? Why don't you guys do something? Looks like we got people in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got, like 3 things in here? You gotta be kidding me, ladies and gentlemen. Probably some stuff like they hate me and everything. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies.
You know what? Simon Feck's one of the best motherfuckers around on the planet, ladies and gentlemen. And then later, me, the MMA Guru, we're going to go over who should fight John Jones. Who should fight John Jones over Aspinall? Because Aspinall sucks balls, ladies and gentlemen. So we got musical MMA. Hey, woo! Yeah. Just like Ric Flair, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, woo! My alligator wearing, limousine riding, son of a gun, jet flying. I'll be 30,000 feet in the air, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ric Flair, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. 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 Ladies and gentlemen.
Musical MMA, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't heard of the musical MMA, then, I mean, what is my job, ladies and gentlemen? I should be promoting the shit out of the MMA, well, whatever you say, that's MMA Guru and musical MMA, ladies and gentlemen. See what else we got here, ladies and gentlemen. Why am I the MMA Guru and I'm saying ladies and gentlemen? See what I'm saying? This definitely checked out what in the world is going on. And we didn't work this out very good because you can't see the fucking thing. You barely understand it. Well, let me tell you something. You can understand me if you want to understand it. You gotta pay attention. Wait till it comes out. I understand it's difficult. Some of it's video. Later on, there's going to be commentary. In another month or two, there's going to be commentary over the top of videos. See, it's going to start making sense. Everybody keeps telling Simon Feck, you know, fix the voice, fix the voice. These aren't one-time only videos. Reaction videos. Simon Feck has a team that are going to do reaction videos over the top of these videos. With a different voice that comes over the top. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. The MMA Guru, ladies and gentlemen. live feed is just for up to you. It's really not for the audio. I'm sorry. There's not enough cameras around here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Shatterhead, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Shatterhead in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. On the MMA Guru, and we got Shatterhead in the building. Yeah. Yeah. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The good friend of the musical MMA, ladies and gentlemen. I am MMA Rio. How do I know what I am? I certainly messed that one up, didn't I, ladies and gentlemen? Let's start it over again so we can get a good short out of it. All right, in the chat right here, Shatterhead. Yeah, I forgot what Shatterhead said because I'm a big stupid idiot, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Shatterhead just said in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, Shatterhead in the building, ladies and gentlemen. I am the MMA Guru. Yeah, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Shatterhead in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I think that's it for the chat, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here, 1 foot clock, ladies and gentlemen. Did everybody enjoy having the big fat guru in here last week? Yeah, I bet that was real exciting. The big fat slob himself, the MMA guru, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Simon Feck here, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you something. Francis Ngannou versus John Jones is still on. It always was on. And it's gonna be on. That's it. Francis Ngannou and John Jones is real, people. Dana White, he has to gaslight. Okay, you gotta listen to me, Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, people. Dana White has to gaslight you. Listen to me. You didn't hear anything about Francis Ngannou versus John Jones until Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, told you. You can look it up. You can't find it anywhere else until Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, brought it to you. Then you heard John Jones say it. That's right, Simon Feck, 1 foot cock. I broke the news. Nobody's saying anything that Simon Feck broke the news. I'm either working with John Jones or John Jones is following me. You think about that. I want you to think about that really close. Think about that. Simon Feck broke the news about Francis Ngannou versus John Jones. Is Simon Feck working with John Jones? Or is John Jones following Simon Feck? I told you I know what I'm talking about, people. ever since stupid Tom Aspinall announced that him and the MMA GURU are going to get together and put some kind of strategy together to get John Jones to accept Tom Aspinall as his opponent. Last year, New York City, about 10 days before the fight, stupid Tom Aspinall is an idiot. Friending the MMA GURU to help him to get the fight booked with John Jones. Have you seen the videos that the MMA GURU put out on John Jones? I mean, how stupid can you be, Tom Aspinall? Tom Aspinall's got to be the stupidest guy on the planet. And by the way, Tom Aspinall is 1-1 with Curtis Blades. Think about that. Tom Aspinall, the greatest thing. Tom Aspinall, he's got to be the greatest heavyweight of all time, people. He must challenge John Jones. John Jones must take on Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is 1-1 with Curtis Blades. Now, Curtis Blades is a friend of mine. Almost all these people are a friend of mine, ladies and gentlemen. I've been telling you, I broke the news 2, 3, 4, 5 days later. John Jones says exactly. You look back at my videos. Simon Feck says John Jones versus Ngannou has been in the works since December. John Jones comes on and says he wants to fight Ngannou. Dana White knows and has known since December and has been working on it. Of course he's trying to get him to fight Tom Aspinall. Let me tell you how this works, people. It's just like the Conor thing. You get these guys and they want to break free. John Jones is either like, get me Ngannou or let me go. If John Jones gets stripped, here's how it goes, people. Listen to me. And Dana White, you guys are talking bad about Dana White, saying Dana White needs to leave and everything. But listen, people, I'm there. I know what's right behind the curtain behind Dana White, and it ain't good, people. You got a corporation that's not the same corporation just a little bit ago. Now, let's take John Jones. We'll leave Conor alone. It's basically the same story. All right, here's the inside skinny, people. John Jones wants to fight Francis Ngannou. Yeah, he agreed to Tom Aspinall after Ngannou. John Jones wants to fight Francis Ngannou. There's a thing, people, listen to me. People that have money to fight it in court, like Conor, like John Jones. If you strip John Jones of his belt, it's like taking a man's livelihood. You got managers Sign contracts. This is big time stuff, man. You're not playing with, a kid playing baseball down the street. You could strip somebody else. You could strip Nick Parkins' belt. He doesn't have a dime to defend it. Meaning in court, if Dana White strips John Jones, John Jones goes to the court system and says, these people are tampering with my livelihood. I'm the champion. They took my belt. The judge puts a temporary, order on it. And John Jones is then free to go and do the Francis Ngannou at a stadium somewhere. Like Jake Paul, right? They just get he's already talked about it, people. Simon Feck knows. He's already talked about it. You get a small fighting championship federation, association, whatever. You rent out a stadium. You get all these other people to do all these little fights and make it kind of look good, right? And then you have Jones and Francis Ngannou sell a pay-per-view, get a couple more fights, like say Conor. Oh, I want to skip the Conor so bad too. I don't know if I'm saying this exactly to where you're getting it. You can't stop. You can't strip John Jones. He's already said it. He'll get a court order until it's solved. He's free. Then he gets Francis Ngannou, goes to a stadium, Texas Stadium or whatever, puts the event on. That's what Dana White's up against. You can't strip John Jones. Or you just let him walk, and then he's going to have this big fight somewhere else. Dana White's getting the boxing association, league, federation, whatever you want to call it, together. Why do you think that is? Because as time goes on, you get more and more. There's only been a few, but you get more and more of these prima donnas. These guys say they want to fight. Most of them say they want to fight. You think it's as easy as, hey, this guy should fight this guy should fight this. It's not like that, people. It should be like that. You should just be able to say, you're fighting. That's it. It's not like that. 95% of the people that say they'll fight anybody, it's a lie. Listen to me. Joshua Van, he's my buddy. I've been interviewing Joshua Van for some time now. Now listen to me, Joshua Van. Listen to me. You invited me to come out. Joshua Van's secret training is underwater like Muhammad Ali. Remember Muhammad Ali? That's underwater training. Joshua Van trains underwater, 40 feet down, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua Van invited Simon Feck out. I've been interviewing Joshua. You know it's true, right, Joshua? Yeah. Mr. Van. Simon Feck here. Joshua. Simon Feck wants to get you on live stream. I want to interview you live. Okay? You remember me. You're going to bring me out. I mean, I'm in Vegas most of the time, right? But you're going to bring me out to your facility underwater and do the training with you underwater. Simon Feck wants to do the training, but I want you on a live interview with me on YouTube. But John Jones and Francis Ngannou is going to happen no matter what. And stupid Tom Aspinall, you can't see it. I mean, you can't see it. It's like him and Michael Chandler. They get a dream, they see the money. As a matter of fact, John Jones slipped, right? He was so used to in his head thinking that he's going to call out Tom Aspinall after the last New York City fight, the NYC fight. And a couple days before the fight, he was on Kevin Ioli's YouTube channel interview, and he slipped and said, yeah, I was going to fight Tom Aspinall. But he was just so used to that. He had to just recently change it because he found out that Tom Aspinall is going to be friends with the MMA GURU. That shut everything down. John Jones ain't ducking nobody. John Jones is teaching somebody a lesson. Now, Dana White, you guys are hard on Dana White. Here's the problem with Dana White. Dana White's like, okay, so I get Ngannou. And I get the Ngannou and the Jones fight. Now, after that, is Jones going to fight Aspinall after that? That's what he's working with. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Dana White found an opponent for Macy Barber already. Yeah, that's right. Dana White's found an opponent for Macy Barber. And you may see her in the cage, and you may not see her in the cage. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dana White found an opponent for Macy Barber. And you heard it here from Simon Feck. You may see her in the cage, and you may not see her in the cage, ladies and gentlemen. I told you guys, man, you can't be doing this. Stop writing jokes like they're stand-up jokes. Dana White found Macy Barber an opponent already, ladies and gentlemen. And you may see her in the cage, and you may not see her in the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, Macy Barber, you may see her and you may not. Woo, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you can't outfect the fact, ladies and gentlemen. You know? You just can't outfect the fact. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, Dana White, who his house is illuminated by gaslighting, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, you heard it here. Dana White, who only hires bald people, his house is illuminated by gaslighting. That's right, you heard it right. Simon Feck here, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got here, ladies and gentlemen? Let's shine the light on the people. Let's shine the light on the people, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I see Conor McGregor over there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I want to tell you this. Okay. Oh, the MMA GURU. The MMA GURU is going around lying to you people. The MMA GURU knows exactly who Simon Feck 1 foot cock is, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, you heard it here from Simon Feck. The MMA guru knows exactly who Simon Feck is, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you, if you go back and look at UFC Seattle, his video, UFC Seattle, you know, where he did the fight companion, and he comes on, it's like, I don't know how far it is in, but it's like 7 minutes in, 10 minutes in, I don't know what it is. 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, I don't know what it is. But he said something seriously is wrong. A couple days before UFC Seattle, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck set his alarm clock to watch a Simon Feck 1 foot cock live stream, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as that 2-hour live stream was over, 2-3 minutes later, your hero, the MMA guru, went and did like a 10-hour live stream, ladies and gentlemen. He thought that was going to be the last live stream he ever did. Then, he took all of his live streams from 3 years to 6 years old and got rid of them all. Then, I came on like the next day and I said, he shouldn't have got rid of all of them. Because I thought I had them all recorded and I don't. So, I didn't expect him to get rid of them all. So then he puts them all back up. But he sprinkles all these member live stream, member live streams. It really clogs it down. So he's trying to hide these old school live streams, ladies and gentlemen. So anyways, somebody the other day asked him, like in a super chat, I see a couple people from England talking to each other on their live streams about Simon Feck, and about somebody was saying to MMA Guru, like, hey, have you seen this guy Simon Feck? And he acted like he didn't. 4 or 5 days before that, a guy came in my chat and said, hey, I was just innocently asking the MMA Guru if he had heard of Simon Feck. And he said, one more outburst like that, and you're gone. I'm going to permanently ban you. I guess the guy didn't hear it. He asked the question again. The MMA Guru banned the guy. 4 or 5 days before 4 or 5 days before someone asked the MMA Guru, have you ever heard of Simon Feck? So then he, does that fast typing. And it says, oh, the guy, it looks worrisome. 4 or 5 days before that, he banned a guy that was innocently asking him if he had ever heard of Simon Feck. Your MMA guru is gaslighting you. He knows exactly who Simon Feck is, and he's scared of Simon Feck 1 foot cock. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA guru was ready to cry on stream because he watched my stream. Now, I've been easy on the guy lately, okay? And then some of these people in England talking about me, okay? Oh, he shouldn't be showing the pictures of, like old school pictures of him and stuff. Dude, that ain't nothing what he did to my family. Your MMA guru, dude, is in trouble. And here it is, the trouble right here. The trouble is Simon Feck 1 foot cock here. That's where the trouble is. He's scared of me. Now here's where it comes. Listen to me, people. This has been a a shit live stream, ladies and gentlemen. I got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I mean, now I'm just going straight here. What do we got? Shine the light on the people, right? We got MMA Joey to talk about. We got Mike Heck, the Heck and the Feck show to talk about. We got, we had a trip to Croatia. We got the Nina Drama talking showerhead to talk about. Let's see what else we got. We got Lorenzo Predicts or whatever about the MMA Guru raid on here. What else we got? Let's see. Let me see. Well, we started talking about Smokey, Feeble, and Cage Mind Combat Sports. Because the MMA Guru is trying to figure out who Simon Feck is. He doesn't know who Simon Feck is, yet he's trying to figure out who I am. You, listen to me, people. You go to the MMA Guru's, it's called something like Bryce Mitchell's not backing down to the media. And I believe it was in Miami. Yeah, it's MMA Guru's video. And the video's sort of like out of place, right, for a video that he does. So it's Bryce Mitchell doesn't back down to the media. Now, when he's talking about stuttering, a media guy stuttering, and he thinks he knows who the guy is, he's talking about Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he goes and tells everybody that he doesn't know who Simon Feck, 1 foot cock is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he just looks worrisome. I don't know who he is. Your MMA guru is lying to you. He's scared to death of Simon Feck. 179 subscribers here. But you know what the best thing about Simon Feck's channel is? You guys don't know the secret. I've already done this before. Do you know why I have all these things up here? Well, tonight I don't. And this thing turned around. Well, you got, this is what I'm talking about, man. I'm doing a big thing on MMA Guru right now. Because we caught him in a lie. Okay, so here's the guy, right? His name is, let me get this right. His name is Soon Media. Soon Media. Soon Media went 4 or 5 days ahead of when somebody did a super chat and asked the MMA Guru if he's ever heard of this YouTuber. Oh, let me check. 4 or 5 days before that, he banned Soon Media for asking who Simon Feck was. He didn't just ban the guy because he doesn't know who Simon Feck is. The MMA Guru is lying to you. Scared to death of Simon Feck, 1 foot cock. Now listen to me. All I did, I asked the MMA Guru to say he's sorry to 1 or 2 people. And it's not Amy Kaplan, okay? Dana White and David Feldman. Dana White, right here. UFC man. And BKFC's David Feldman. He won't do it. It's like admitting guilt, I get it. One or two of those guys, I Obviously, it's just one. It's a relative remote. We're doing a stream. She's right over here, a brand new character. I gotta talk to you about somebody else too. I'm all over the place here. I wasn't even going to get into this tonight. And I'm just getting rid of that stuff on the board. Right over here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it right over here. That camera can't see it right there. Right here, this is Lenee Breckinridge. Lenee Breckinridge. Now, Lenee Breckinridge, she promotes, like say, personalities. She is the PR person for fighters. When they want to promote a fighter, she takes care of the promotion. Well, there's a certain guy, the MMA GURU, who is ruining some of the fighters' projected promotion that Lenee Breckinridge has set forth, and so on. Lenee Breckinridge is the one that is like the right-hand man, but Lenee Breckinridge is a female, right? So Lenee Breckinridge is the right-hand woman of Dana White. We're going to have her on a live stream along with Amy Kaplan and Nina Drama next week. Lenee Breckinridge wants to know what Simon Feck has to say. The MMA GURU going around trying to figure out who Simon Feck is. I went and told everybody, so you gotta gaslight a little bit, just like Dana White has to gaslight a little bit, right? You can't tell everything to everybody, and then he's going to be answered 87,000 different questions about why this fighter won't fight this guy, and then this one won't fight this one, but this one wants to fight this one. It's never ending behind the scenes, people. It's easy to say this guy needs to fight this guy. It doesn't happen like that. It's the most difficult thing is to get these fighters to fight each other. And they're fighters, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, come on. The MMA GURU is scared to death of Simon Feck 1 foot tall. He's lying to you. I never asked anybody to go into his chat. I never will either. But he's lying to you. Okay, so there's a new character. The new character, his name is Stu, S-T-U, Pitt, P-I-T-T, Stu Pitt. Stu Pitt is going to present what your boy MMA GURU has been up to. To Lenee Breckinridge. Stu Pitt is going to present what MMA GURU has been up to Lenee Breckinridge. Lenee Breckinridge, Dana White's right-hand woman. I mean, I thought I was going to have a fun show, right? Anyways, that brings us to one of our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. This is a brand new one. We're going to have to read this one off the board, ladies and gentlemen. Ever dreamed about that instant fat face? Ever wondered how it's achieved by many, but seems unattainable? You too can get instant fat face by purchasing the MMA GURU Fat Face Mask, ladies and gentlemen. Right here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Right here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. Let me start over again. Ever wonder how others can achieve that fat face? Like, how do people achieve the fat face, like, so easily? Ladies and gentlemen, you too can achieve that fat face, ladies and gentlemen, instantly by ordering online the MMA GURU Fat Face Mask, ladies and gentlemen. You too. I mean, why? I mean, others get to enjoy a nice fat face. If you want a fat face and you want it now, order online the MMA GURU's Fat Face Mask, ladies and gentlemen. It is achievable, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if you're ever wondering how and why, the how and why is solved for you, ladies and gentlemen. Online, MMA GURU Fat Face Mask, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. The stupid MMA GURU sitting there staring at me all day long, ladies and gentlemen. This has got to be like the worst. Like, this guy keeps turning around, pissing me off. The MMA GURU, he thinks that I could possibly be, what is it up here? Smokey, Feeble, or Caged Minds Combat Sports Guy. Now, I go into the media area. I told you guys that I'm like a media guy. I go in the media area a lot. I'm not a media guy. I have an office in the Apex, ladies and gentlemen, right next to Daniel Cormier's office. Okay? That MMA GURU, that video, you see it? He's like, I think I know who this guy is. And you know how I stutter a lot, right? So then he can make fun of the stuttering guy. Then he doesn't know if he's, if it's the second stuttering guy, so he's got to talk about that guy. But he clearly says, and I think I know who this guy is. Yeah, he thinks it's Simon Feck, 1 foot tall. People come up to me and they ask me in the Apex, they're like, hey, who do you think Simon Feck is? And I'm like, beats me, I don't know. I've been talking to John Jones the whole time through this. Okay? I see Dana White in the hall. Okay? I see Dana White in the war room. We talk about all this stuff. Yeah, the Tom Aspinall, see how, this is why he thinks that I'm that guy in that video. But that guy in that video, he lives in either Phoenix or Albuquerque. And he's a nice guy. I know him. The Caged Minds Combat Sports YouTube channel. Okay? The MMA GURU thinks that the Caged Minds Combat Sports guy is me, Simon Feck, 1 foot tall. Although that guy's a nice guy, he's not exactly upright. I tried to reach out to him a day or two ago, and he hasn't got back. There you go. So now I'm talking about him. Okay? The MMA guru knows exactly who Simon Feck is. The MMA guru, dude. The MMA guru, you can't stop it. What is the word? Inevitable? I mean, people are going on there and asking you about me. And it's only going to get more and more. Okay? My other channel, I'm at like 971 videos. And in a quick span. My other channel, it took about 2.5 years. My 1,128th video went viral. Then after that, boom, boom, boom. I'm doing 2 million views a month. I got the same thing going on here, but it's going quicker and faster. It took a long time to get the average up on the other channel to 300 per video. I'm at 300 now. I'm putting more videos out than I should. So some of them only get like 23 views and 33 views. But later on, when it catches on, the views are coming down. If you do more than 3 shorts a day, they don't give you any views. So that's why my average is down a little bit. And Simon Feck, listen to me, people. Listen to this. You YouTubers out there, listen to me. Your views might get 23 views, but most of the people, not Joe Rogan, but most of the people, when you do a video on them, at least once a month, they go through and they look at all of them. They see your video. Everybody's video I did a video on has seen it. Joshua Van, you're my dude. I want you to call in the Simon Feck 1 Foot Cock Show. Joshua Van's my guy. Simon Feck guy. I want you to call in. Joshua Van is the greatest guy. If not one of, but I mean, because, you say that and other people get mad. Joshua Van is the greatest dude. I've known him for quite a long time. I've interviewed him many, many times. Joshua Van is the coolest dude. Dana White can't tell you guys everything. He has to gaslight a little bit. But the MMA guru is not gonna weather the storm. The MMA guru is not going to finish out the 2025 season, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you that. Dana White, Lenee Breckinridge, okay? Let me bring you up over here so this camera can see. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest people you'll ever meet too, as well. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, Lenee Breckinridge, ladies and gentlemen, the right-hand woman to Dana White. Lenee Breckinridge is going to listen to a presentation from a character on the Simon Feck show named Stu Pitt. S-T-U-P-I-T-T. Stu Pitt, ladies and gentlemen. Also, next week we're going to have live stream, a 4-way. It's going to be myself, Simon Feck, Lenee Breckinridge, Amy Kaplan, and Nina Drama live next week on the Simon Feck 1 Foot Cock Show, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Your buddy, the MMA guru, is not going to outlast the 2025 season, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. Trying to have... There you go. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, I like to have good fun streams and everything here. But this guy, this MMA guru character just will not learn a lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Did I tell you that Dana White found Macy Barber an opponent? Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dana White found Macy Barber an opponent, ladies and gentlemen, and you may see her in the cage soon, and you may not, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Macy. You may see her, and you may not, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Yeah, that was a whole other thing, too, that Macy Barber thing. You know, stay off the crack pipe, baby. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, stop stimulating yourself right before you go out. I mean, the commission isn't going to allow that when they see that, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck skipped it, ladies and gentlemen. What else we got here? Shine the light on the people. Ladies and gentlemen, Dana White here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Dana White, he's not a stupid guy, okay? He's not playing games with all these prima donnas, okay? I mean, Dana White's a smart guy. Dana White invented Power Slap in one night, ladies and gentlemen. Dana White invented Power Slap one evening, New Year's Eve. Dana White invented Power Slap on New Year's Eve when he was out partying, ladies and gentlemen, in one night. 800 trillion views per Power Slap, ladies and gentlemen. Dana White invented Power Slap on New Year's Eve, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it here from Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so, the MMA Joey, right? MMA Joey goes down all the way from Alaska, goes down to Key West, him and his fiance, right? The MMA Joey goes down there, and people have planned their vacations forever, right? And then they gotta have this fat slob come up to them and say, hey, you know, hey, I'm a YouTuber. I'm big on YouTube. Yeah, I'm MMA Joe. You know, UFC MMA fighter. And he's got to go and bore the people to death, right? He's got to tell everybody. And how I know, because somebody got a hold of me, okay? So the MMA Joe goes down there, and he's a huge Simon Feck fan. There's a few other instances I could tell you about, too. It's all documented, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So MMA Joey gets a shirt with cocks all over it. And then he's telling these people that he's this big YouTuber, you know, this MMA guy, this UFC YouTuber. And he starts talking about Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen, to these people. He talks so much about Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, to these people on vacation, probably trying to rip their hair out of their head, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I mean, bored to death listening. I mean, you can't even understand what Joey's saying in the first place, right? But he's talking about Simon Feck so much, these people, when they finally got away from the fat boy, they thought that his name was Simon Feck because he talked about Simon Feck so much. They got a hold of me for I don't know what reason, but They got a hold of me and they thought, hey, they thought I was MMA Joe. Because he talked about Simon Feck so much. MMA Joe, dude, you ain't that big, dude. You gotta go around and tell people who you are. That's embarrassing. Like, MMA Joe had a guy in his apartment complex that recognized him. So, MMA Joe pounces on the guy, okay? And I don't mean like him and his fiance, going down to Key West kind of pouncing. I'm talking about, every time he's out walking his dog, he sees this guy that recognizes him. He's got, and the guy's bored to death talking to stupid MMA Joe. The guy moved. He didn't just move out of the apartment complex. He moved out of the state, ladies and gentlemen, to get away from MMA Joe. Anyways, that was a stupid story, but yeah, MMA Joe's going around telling everybody who he is. You know how embarrassing that is? Oh my God. And up to like random people. That's like saying, like me going up like, hey, I'm the #1 knitter. Like to, I don't know, to people playing volleyball. This is the worst show ever, but I'm telling you what, this show right here is going to get more traction than any show I've done so far. Because we didn't go on a script, and then I'm talking about the big YouTuber. That's not going to be on YouTube much longer. I keep giving the guy chances. Then I got people saying, hey, Simon Feck, you're using some of his old pictures. Maybe calling him Kyle me and stuff. Do you know what the MMA GURU did? Lenee Breckinridge will find out real soon. The UFC is going to find out real soon. Dana White's going to find out real soon. The cameraman, Conor McGregor, is going to find out real soon. The world's going to find out real soon. John Jones is going to find out real soon. Francis Ngannou is going to find out real soon. Michael Chandler is going to find out real soon. Mick Parkin's going to find out real soon. Owen Elliott's going to find out real soon. Lewis McGrillen is going to find out real soon. Aaron Mead is going to find out real soon. Anthony Mead is going to find out real soon. Why is the MMA GURU so scared of Simon Feck 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen? He can't even say, oh, listen to this, right? People go on the MMA GURU's chat all the time and they say stuff about MMA Joe, right? And then they say stuff about other people. But mainly, let's keep it to MMA Joe. It's usually never anything good. And then, the MMA GURU's got, a little bit to say. He says a little bit about it. He won't talk about MMA Regal anymore. But when somebody mentions Simon Feck 1 foot cock, oh, let me go and check. 4 days before that, he just suspended a guy or banned a guy for just asking, hey, have you ever heard of Simon Feck, 1 foot gap? He's a liar. Excuse me. I'm not a member of the MMA GURU. But that guy got a hold of me. I was live, doing a live stream at that time. That guy came on my live stream and told me. So I went back and we got it. We scraped it or whatever. We got proof. Ladies and gentlemen, there's proof. 4 or 5 days before that he's banning people. He said, you better not do that again. I'm going to ban you. I'm warning you. I'm going to ban you. The MMA GURU set his alarm clock to watch the live stream that I said that I was going to explain about the 6:02 video. 6 minutes and 2 seconds video. 6 minutes and 2 seconds video. He watched that. Then after that, he did that 10-hour stream. Then after that, he took all of his 3-year to 6-year-old live streams down. Then he put them back up, but he threw in a whole bunch of those members live streams that says, you know, you can't get to them unless you're a member, to clog everything. Then after that, UFC Seattle comes, and he's crying and says the worst thing ever in his life ever happened to him. Then, here recently, he said that, oh yes, Sean Strickland. So, and like I said, I don't have very many subscribers, and I don't have very many views on the Simon Feck channel. But guess what? Nina Drama watches me. Sean Strickland watches me. Amy Kaplan watches me. Jose watches me. Mick Parker watches me. Tom Aspinall watches me. I mean, the list goes on. Most of the people that watch me are to-do people. You know why? Because I do videos on it. Don't believe that the people that you do videos on don't see them. Everybody checks out their own stuff. What people do, you know, the videos about them. Now, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So, Sean Strickland got the thing from me about the MMA GURU going around ruining people's lives. That's me. I got that statement over and over again. Because I do a bunch of videos on Nina Drama. I happen to know Nina Drama. I happen to know Sean Strickland. But that's not neither here nor there. Okay? So then that said to the MMA GURU, it gets to him about ruining people's lives. The MMA GURU seen my video and he stopped doing this stuff. Mostly it's all because of what the chat asked him to do. He's not doing that stuff anymore. You know why? Because he's scared of Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he said he hasn't ruined anybody's lives in months. You know why? Because I did a video in January, late January. The dude won't say he's sorry. And I told him over and over again that it's going to be International Fight Week. You got to International Fight Week. Well, guess what? Stu Pitt is coming out talking to Lenee Breckinridge, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost game over, MMA GURU. It's almost game over, buddy. That's it. What else we got here? Oh, yeah. Also, next week when Lenee Breckinridge comes on, and Amy Kaplan and Nina Drama on a live stream with Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, you can win a trip to Croatia, ladies and gentlemen. No expenses paid, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Simon Feck got all the bells and whistles for you. Also, it's going to be sponsored by the Nina Drama Talking Shower Head. And people are always asking me, hey, Simon Feck, you know, do you use these products that you sponsor? You know, sponsor your show? And I'm like, yeah. I love my Nina Drama talking showerhead. But I take the button, I turn it, I put it on mute, ladies and gentlemen. So I got a Nina Drama showerhead. I mean, almost every night, I enjoy my Nina Drama showerhead. Night after night, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I like my showerhead. I don't like my showerhead talking to me, giving me advice, telling me what to do. So yeah, definitely. There's no products on our show that we don't endorse. We love ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I love my little drama talking showerhead, ladies and gentlemen. Matter of fact, right here's a prototype right here, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Dana White, stop gaslighting the public and tell them that the Francis Ngannou and the John Jones fight is still in the works, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead, and I'm telling you, Dana White, tell the public and stop gaslighting them and tell them that the Francis Ngannou and the John Jones fight is on the horizon. Why does the Nina Drama talking showerhead have a male voice? There's a button on the side here, right here. There it is. It also has a female voice. We sent one to Rigo, and Rigo returned it because the male voice was broken and only had a female voice, and so he returned it. And then Rigo returned it because, it only had a female voice. So we had to send him another one, ladies and gentlemen. So right here is the button on the side. You got male voice, female voice. No, anyway, this is the Nina Drama talking show. And I just want you to tell everybody, tell the public that the Francis Ngannou and the John Jones fight is a go. You know what I'm saying? I haven't practiced that in a little while, people. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, you need a Drama talking showerhead, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it again. Yo, Dana White, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead. Listen, Dana White, I want you to tell the public and stop gaslighting them that the John Jones and the Francis Ngannou fight is in the works, ladies and gentlemen. Now, why would the Nina Drama talking showerhead talk to Dana White and say, ladies and gentlemen, when it's just him? I don't know. Hey, Dana White, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead, and I want you to stop gaslighting everybody and tell them that the John Jones and the Francis Ngannou fight is in the works, ladies and gentlemen. Again, why would the Nina Drama talking showerhead say, ladies and gentlemen, the stupid Dana White? Yo, Dana White, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead, and I want you to stop gaslighting the public and tell them that the John Jones and the Francis Ngannou fight is in the works, Dana White, you big stupid dummy. And tell everybody that, especially Tom Aspinall, tell Tom Aspinall to go fight Curtis Blades and make it 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, Dana White, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead, and the MMA GURU is scared to death of Simon Feck 1-foot cock, Dana White. What do you think about that, Dana White? Hey, Dana White, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead. The MMA GURU is a big fucking pussy. The MMA Guru is scared of Simon Feck, 1 foot cock. Hey, Dana White, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead. And next week, on the Simon Feck show, Lenee Breckinridge, Amy Kaplan, and Nina Drama are all live streaming together. That's right, on the Simon Feck show. That's right, Dana White. Make sure you call in too. And Joshua Van too. Need you to call in. Ladies and gentlemen, your big hero, the MMA Guru, is scared to death of Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it here on the Simon Feck show. The MMA Guru is scared to death of Simon Feck, 1 foot cock. Why does this thing keep spinning around? Yo, Dana White, this is the Nina Drama talking show. The MMA Guru is scared to death of Simon Feck, 1 foot cock. That's right. And next week, Dana White, don't forget to tune in on the Simon Feck show. Lenee Breckinridge, Amy Kaplan, and Nina Drama are all calling in. We're going to have a four-way on the Simon Feck 1 foot cock show. That's right. Make sure you call in too, Dana White. And hey, Joshua Van, call in, would you? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nina Drama talking show, man. Yeah. And the MMA Guru is scared to death of Simon Feck 1 foot cock. Did we say that enough? Hey, everybody out there in MMA land, ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck 1 foot cock is a thorn in the side of the MMA Guru. He knows exactly who Simon Feck is. Don't let him fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, MMA Fat Guru. MMA Fat Guru. Let's go on somebody's live stream and talk. You big pussy. Hey, Demetrius Johnson. The MMA Guru says he'll spin kick and wheelhouse you and knock your head off as you go for a piece of cheese. Years ago, you used to say he'd beat you up all the time. Like, says you're a big pussy. And now he's sucking your dick. Ladies and gentlemen, your big hero, the MMA Guru, is a big fucking pussy. And yeah, so the MMA Guru, he rated Lorenzo, what's his name? Lorenzo Predictions or Prediction, whatever his stupid name is, right? Lorenzo Predicts, right? And then Lorenzo's like, oh my God, I don't know what I've done. Oh my God, I'm going to tell my mommy. The big, I finally made it. The big fat fucking Guru fucking raided me. Oh my God. It was so gay. I mean, somebody's got to put the straight back in MMA, ladies and gentlemen. That's why maybe Sean Strickland's a good friend of mine, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, next week when Lenee Breckinridge, Amy Kaplan, and Nina Drama come on the Simon Feck show, why don't you call in too, Sean Strickland, Joshua Van, Dana White, Chael Sonnen, Ariel Helwani, Daniel Cormier, Chris Cyborg, Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, and Clay Guida. I want all of you to call into the Simon Feck show and be on the show next week, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, The big fat guru scared of Simon Feck 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Feck and the MMA guru know who each other one is. Simon Feck claims it. The big fat guru is denying it. He knows exactly who Simon Feck 1 foot cock is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, did I put that across to you, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, yeah. Hey, can somebody get a hold of Mike Feck and ask him if his phone is working, ladies and gentlemen? Tell him Simon Feck, tell him Simon Feck's not trying to get a hold of him about his extended car warranty. Simon Feck's trying to get a hold of him and wants to know when we're going to start the Heck in the Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. Stupid thing spinning around, man. It's unbelievable, man. Supposed to have this good setup, and the thing keeps turning. Ladies and gentlemen, can somebody get a hold of Mike Heck for me, ladies and gentlemen? Now that I stuttered, right, because the MMA guru is trying to figure out who I am. And who, if I was one of the reporters that asked Bryce Mitchell some questions down there in Miami. Now listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Stupid glasses coming off. What? You guys don't ever tell me nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, can somebody please get a hold of Mike Heck for me, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know if Mike Heck's phone's broke or not. Can somebody get a hold of Mike Heck for me? I mean, I'm not trying to get a hold of him about his car's extended warranty. I'm just trying to get a hold of him to see when we're going to start the Heck in the Feck show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody get a hold of Mike Heck. I mean, I think his phone's broke, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to get a hold of him about his car's extended warranty. I'm trying to get a hold of him to see when we're going to start the Heck in the Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen.